is the Social Media Millionaire Podcast, where we are shaping the new era of millionaires. This podcast is the first podcast exclusively for the modern CEO who is scaling $1 million, dare I say $1 billion businesses with organic social media.
Welcome back to episode 2 of the Social Media Millionaire Podcast.
What we actually did to scale a 6-figure membership within our business. This is something within my content that we've really become known for, this element of more passive recurring revenue. And maybe we'll start by giving you a little bit of the backstory of what came about where we actually launched this membership. And then we'll dive into what we've done that's really made it successful and such a cornerstone of our brand.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe it as well. Mainly because I think it's something you're really proud of. You often refer to it as your baby. So
I love the membership.
And I think it's also something that a lot of customers and clients really love as well. It provides a ton of value, and it's where a lot of our traffic to income members, our coaching clients, come from as well. They start in the membership, and once they have their following and want to monetize it, they end up moving into traffic to income with that too. So I think it's really big for us in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that too and how we actually pull leads out of there. And then today we're going to be unpacking for you guys what our actual offer suite structure looks like with it, because it's something that's been really powerful for us in a lot of ways in generating stability in our business. To get into how we actually launched the membership and what came about, when way back in 2016, long before we ever launched the business, my very first client that I worked with, we launched a very, very successful membership. It was a multi-7-figure membership. She was doing over 7 figures a month with her membership. And so that experience, when we actually then launched our business, was pretty pivotal in me wanting to launch a membership and to generate that recurring revenue within our business. So fast forward to, 2021?
Yeah.
Basically, the tea is that we had a coach tell us that we'd never be successful in the online space with a membership, that the social media space wouldn't be successful because they'd had a membership and it failed, essentially.
Well, no. The person who said this, they said they did some quick math and they thought that it would be way too much work to get the members in it for it to actually produce any significant income into our business, which is really funny because since we've started the membership, it's done about 10 to 15% of our revenue. Been a significant chunk from the get-go, and it keeps scaling. And the funny thing is we don't put that much effort into marketing.
We put little to no effort into actually selling the membership, which is part of why it's so amazing, why we love it so much, is because it's just another revenue stream that we love, that people get so much value from, that doesn't require a lot from us too.
And just to be clear here, there's a lot of different terms on the internet for what memberships are. Think of this as kind of like a membership to a gym. There's content inside of it. We do monthly live trainings in it and have other documents and resources available to the members within it. And it's also a community as well, which is one of the really big things about it that really makes it more than just a membership.
Yeah, people love it for the community aspect, but there's a ton of different ways that you can structure a membership. But the structure that we've settled on is a monthly subscription. There's also an annual billing option for people that know they want to be in it for a long time. And then within hours, like Soren said, we do have monthly live sessions, live trainings. We usually do a monthly or bi-monthly hot seat Q&A session. And then we also occasionally bring guest experts in to speak. And then on top of that, we also have modules and templates and resources that are in there that are updated every single month. We add in new content. So there's a ton of value inside the membership for the members, as well as the community aspect where they can network, people hire each other out of there. There's a lot of good things that come out of that. But I'd say that I've heard a lot of things in the space of people talking about memberships being just so draining and soul sucking because it's a lower ticket offer that you're more involved in. And I think that's totally true if you do it wrong.
Yeah, well, just like anything, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. I think the trick with a membership is, because it is lower ticket, you have to figure out a way to over provide the value in a way that doesn't suck up all of your time. That way the time you're putting into it is the most worthwhile for your members.
And so one of the ways we've been able to do that with managing our membership is by hiring a VA. We have a VA within our business. She does a lot of different things for us, but one of the core things she does is just email support. So any type of technical support, billing billing issues, anything like that, our VA handles, and it doesn't take her that long. But then that's just one less thing that we have to worry about. So any billing support, and then also the platform that we currently use, all the billing is fully automated. All of the sign up and cancellation process is fully automated. So we don't do any of that. We just have to answer the occasional support question in the email box, which is not a big deal at all. And then the second thing that we've done that's really made the management easy for us is our ClickUp system. You'll probably hear us talk about our ClickUp system for just about every single episode because we have a ClickUp system for everything. But the membership management, the reason that it's so easy and takes us so little time every month is really because of the system that we have.
Yeah, and it just goes back to making sure that you have the right systems in place when you're running your business, and especially in this case, the membership. And even like the little things like any of the automations we have, like for onboarding, we have all of that run through. If it's not directly integrated within a certain platform or system, we're using like My Networks or ClickUp, we integrate using Zapier to our email system or whatever, ClickUp, whatever it may be. That way, you're not doing a lot of those manual tasks that are recurring every time you have someone sign up to your membership.
Well, and the other thing is that within the ClickUp system, what we've been able to do is how we post content into the membership every month. We have a module request feature that's in the membership, which is part of what keeps members inside and keeps people coming back, because they know that if there's, a new thing that happens with the platforms, or if there's an unanswered question in one of the modules, they know that they can submit that, and we post modules pretty quickly after that submission. So we have a form from ClickUp that files directly into our system, creates a task, we have automations, assigns every step to the right person. So we're able to move through the creation process very, very quickly for any new modules. That makes it so incredibly easy. And then any other support requests, there's also automation set up that creates a task for the right person to handle it.
And that helped a ton with our attrition rate, because being able to deliver to members what they need quickly and efficiently makes a huge difference. The other thing that really helped with our attrition rate, Kendra already mentioned it, but it's the monthly training calls. Those are the two things, especially when you're like building a membership. Those are two things that you can do very easily that really bring down the attrition. The third thing is really making the community active. And when you're running a membership, I would say you want to make sure your attrition, like 30% is really high for attrition. If you can get your attrition below 10%, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's one of the main, I'd say, objections that we get from people around starting a membership is, well, you have people cancel.
Well, you always have people cancel. In any business, you're going to have a churn rate.
Do you ever have high ticket clients skip out of a contract?
Well, even if they finish their contract, that's essentially churned revenue unless you just keep signing them forever.
Exactly.
Which, there's certain business models that are advantageous to do that. If you have an ad agency, you're pumping out a new ad every quarter.
It's funny to me because it's like, hello, that's business. Obviously, you want it to be as low as possible, but yeah, people are going to cancel. But the thing is that if you provide a really good experience for them, we have a ton of people that cancel and then jump back in after a couple months. It's really malleable to what they need at a given point. So yeah, people will leave. People will also come back. It's really not that deep.
Well, and going back to the systems, like making sure you have a email sequence to follow up with churned customers to get them back into your system makes a huge difference. It increases the LTV of your customers dramatically.
Yeah. So with all the things that we've kind of rattled off, all the ideas that we've dropped out, I'd say 95% of those can be automated. The only thing that you can't automate is actually showing up and filming the content that you're putting in the membership and answering emails for the membership. Everything else that we mentioned, all of that can be automated. So you can loop the live calls in with the recording, but any training that you're doing essentially in your membership.
Any added content. Well, and our membership is very much based around education. And there's a lot of different, like most memberships, I'd say most memberships that are really scalable are based around some form of education. Whether it's for a hobby, a business skill, whatever it may be, it's something that like people want to learn how to do. And that works really well. There are some memberships that are like strictly just more community based, but there's not a ton of those. And the only other thing, talking about the community based, that's the only other thing that's really hard to automate. There are ways you can create automated messages that can help foster a community.
Yeah, producing engagement and all of that. But that goes back to the VA.
But authenticity typically tends to be the best with that.
You can have the VA answer questions. And the thing is that I know this isn't what you want to hear, but I do get this question a lot. It's like, if you have a community, how do you control control the amount of time that you spend in there. Well, decide how much time you want to spend in there and then only spend that amount of time. It's not rocket science. Show up and answer questions when you want to. Like, set a certain amount of time and engagement. Block off times on your calendar to go in and do the engagement. It's not a high ticket coaching program. If somebody has a question that you don't answer, somebody else in the community will answer it. That's the point of having a community. So, like, I don't know, a little self control would go a long way.
Yeah, well, and part of it is like training that community, training up the most active members to be leaders within that community makes the biggest difference. The other thing is, so many people think that their membership has to be perfect before they launch. It has to have 200 hours of content. It has to have all the perfect documents. No, film 5 to 10 hours of content that you think is valuable that can help someone do something.
Not even. It doesn't have to be that much at all. So if you have like 5 categories in your membership of, topics, we have people that launch with 3 to 5 videos under each of those and then like a worksheet to go with, which is a great place to start because that's probably 2 or 3 days worth of work of recording and then it's ready to go live.
That was my whole point, is like 2 or 3 days worth of work. You film a couple hours a day, you edit, and you go live with it. Because here's the thing, people act like when you launch it, this has to be its own full-time business. Memberships, in my opinion, they're the ultimate side hustle because you can start them so small. You get one person signed up, that's recurring revenue. And if you do your membership right, like we were talking about with the systems, it can be very passive.
Well, that's the other thing. That was the next thing I was going to say is people say, well, it's not passive income. Would you agree that like if you, something that is like normally very widely accepted as passive income is like Airbnb and owning real estate?
Airbnbs are so much work.
Would you agree that a membership is the same amount or even less work than quote unquote passive income through real estate?
I mean, I would say it's the same work because you're going to have you're going to have less issues. You have to do less vetting when it comes to the tenant. You're never going to have to deal with an eviction. With Airbnbs, you're not changing beds every day. Everything you can do is on your computer, so it's mobile. You're not like locked in one location like you are with an Airbnb. And if you hired a management company, hire a management company for your membership. There are companies out there that do that.
The point I'm trying to get across is that people say it's not passive income, but it is.
It is just as passive as any of these other passive income streams out there that people talk about.
So to wrap all of that up, really the way to have an effective passive reoccurring membership is to, one, preset the amount of time that you want to spend on it every single month. If you want to spend 3 hours on it, great. Allot that time, block it out for yourself, and build the systems in the front end, front load a lot of the effort so that it is passive for you on the back end. So that could look like batching content. That could look like building a system, setting up automations and reminders, and maybe hiring a VA. Set all of that up in the very beginning, and then it's very, very minimal work to manage it on the back end. So the next piece of this, which is the next question I'm sure everyone has, which is how do you actually get members inside your membership?
Well, it goes back to funnels. Everything's a funnel.
Yeah, so we look at our membership, and Sora mentioned it in the beginning. It's a really integral part of our offer suite in a couple different ways. So when you look at fully optimizing your upsell and downsell structure within your business, I personally like to think of an offer suite as circular as a journey. Okay, so a membership is something that allows it to be circular. So what I mean by that is somebody can come into the membership that's never interacted with us before, and it's a great starting point for them to interact with us, see the value, see if they're aligned, and then move through the rest of our offers. Then people can come through the highest level VIP inside of traffic to income and go right back into the membership if they want to. Because once they've completed that, often people like to stay in there for the updates on the platform, to ask a random question about a video, just for that reoccurring support that comes with having a community, having some accountability. So it's circular in that people can start with the membership and they can end with the membership if they've come through. They can literally go through our entire offer suite, our highest ticket, most exclusive offers, and end up right back in the membership. And we have people that do that funnel right back in there and stay in there for part of the community, for the ongoing support, to be able to ask questions, all of that. So it makes your offer suite fully optimized so that you have a place for every single person to go. And so you're able to have, like Soren said, a lower churn within your business because there's always somewhere for people to go. Now, I also mentioned the upsell, there's also the downsell, right? So very, very often we have people apply for traffic to income or even for our new program that we haven't announced yet, and they're not a fit. And so when we have to say no to people, we like to have a place where they can still go for support. So we're not just saying, nope, you're on your own, see you later, bye. So we're able to also take people and downsell them if they're not somebody that we feel would be a fit.
By creating that community aspect where they continue to grow one of the most powerful parts of their business, which is their social following and their brand.
The downsell process is very important to think about as well. And that also having that is part of what allows you to have super ethics led sales where you're not just trying to sign up every rando off the street, right? You're really taking the time to vet people and ensure that they're aligned with your offer and make sure that they're a really good fit for your community. And if they're not, you still have a way to support them really well and to give them a lot of value in ethical downsell structure. So that's number one. And then number two is then email marketing is a big way that we funnel people into our membership.
And for an example on that downsell, I think this would be a really good example before we move into the email marketing for it. But I think a great example is more like with our business is like with real estate agents, because there's tons of real estate agents that aren't necessarily a great fit for our higher end TTI coaching programs. But what they need is they need to, up their Instagram game so they can get more leads in their DMs so they can move more homes. And the membership is something that's like perfect for real estate agents, but we're throwing them into like traffic income or like our group coaching program would not be a great fit for them if they wouldn't get the results they're looking for, unlike with the membership.
It depends on the person.
It depends, but I'm just saying broad general term. That is a good example. And there's, different businesses where this would apply a lot.
Yeah. And that's part of what we are wanting to cover in our new offer that we're launching is for people that just need the social media and sales support. But up until this point, the membership has been the place that we've been able to put those people. Now, getting onto email marketing, that's one of our core lead flows for our membership. But I should preface that by saying that everyone gets onto our email list from my social media. So it's still our same organic cross-platform strategy, but they land on the email list rather than a sales page generally when we're trying to sell the membership. So with our email funnels, we move people in using a free guide, and we've recently really up-leveled our freebies a lot. We just launched the Millionaire Archives, which is a mini training collection starting with our viral content formula, which is kind of what we've been known for the past couple years. And so that is what brings people onto the email list specifically for the membership, and they generally go through there. We have a couple back-end offers that are exclusively available to people that are on the email list. So they come through the email list, they join the membership, and then as Soren said before, they very, very often move into our other offers as well because it gives them a taste of what we're all about. They see results, they see extreme value from the membership, and then they want to move up into our other offers.
Yeah, maybe one day we're going to have to do an episode just on email marketing because
our conversion rate's insane. Our conversion rate for our emails is off the charts. So that might be something to unpack at a later date. But that is kind of our main strategy. We also do drive people, to the sales page. We occasionally do my Instagram stories framework that we do for our upper level offers. We also do that for the membership, and we sign up a ton of people. Occasionally we do a Black Friday sale for the membership or a promotion, but the very consistent lead flow that's coming into the membership every single day is mostly from our emails.
And I think more than anything, memberships are something, I think if you're an industry leader in your space and you're looking to bring extra revenue onto your business and you're really passionate about helping people learn more about what you do, I think memberships are an immediate go-to product for that.
If you're wanting reoccurring revenue in your business as well, because a main pain point that I hear from a lot of people is that they kind of feel like they're starting over from zero every month. And so unless you have just a ton of stacking of payment plans, you are kind of starting from zero every single month with your revenue. And so the membership is a really great way that we've been able to feel really secure in our revenue. When we hit the first of the month, we're so far away from starting from zero. It just feels really good and really secure to have that reoccurring no matter what, on top of all of the other revenue coming in our business. You can tell that we're really passionate about this. This is an offer that I absolutely love. And so when we get these kind of random objections and negative comments on social media, like we kind of unpacked earlier, it's really upsetting to me because it is such a good offer, and almost all of those objections come from a place of lack of preparation, lack of systems, and lack of self-control and boundary setting in your business. And so if you implement those things up front, you're not going to have a problem. It's an excellent offer to have.
Well, and more than anything, everyone always talks about how profitable software companies are because you write the code once and it's there. Except that's not entirely true because you have to do maintenance to the servers, you have to write patches, yada, yada, yada. Memberships are the same. You film the bulk of your content once if it's educational based, and then you go through and you just add to it as it goes on. So you get like the same benefits, but without having to do all of that groundwork. Now, of course, the hard thing like any business is acquiring customers, but we went over all of that and the different ways you can acquire customers into your membership.
Well, and if you're a member of the Social Media Millionaire, you won't have that problem.
That is true. So, to conclude this episode, if you've been thinking at all about starting a membership, start today.
Don't wait. Front load the work, set up good systems, hire people if you need to, and set boundaries, time block for yourself around running the membership. And you'll be shocked at just how fast and how scalable it is because, like I always say, whether you have one member or a million members, it's the same amount of work.
And if you've found any value from this podcast at all, be sure to give us a follow on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channels and the podcast. We're delivering more value to you every single week. That way you can grow your business.
So, if you've been thinking about starting a membership and you want to see how we put this into action, be sure to follow us over on social media. Follow me on Instagram. I talk a ton about memberships on TikTok as well. And you can even hop into our email list. It'll be in the show notes below, and you can see exactly what we're doing to sell the membership. And I know that you'll want to hop inside as well.
We'll even include a link to the Social Media Millionaire. That way you can get a glimpse of how a membership is really run.
You can see how our membership is structured, and of course over on my Instagram you can see what the members are saying. So as I always say, don't take our word for it, go see what people are saying about us. That's everything we'll be talking about today, so we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for being here.